Hey all, Hipper here. Today we are continuing the Hipper theme here, and I'll probably do that for a week or something, I think, um, because the ships need some attention, and that's what I'm trying to give to it here. And I am always using my Lucian's build here on Hipper, and if you don't have a sure lane Baltimore like I do, you can put Fraser, the UK commander, on that inspiration spot instead, and it'll be almost just as good. So this here is my favorite spawn in Hipper, and the reason for that is that it's very easy to approach the enemy here without getting pummeled on the way. And that is a sore point of Hipper, because like I always say, you have to get up close in the ship. And the Lion's Head here, it plays a really good role in allowing you to approach, and if you can stay unspotted the whole time, that's perfect. But in this case, I get spotted. And if you have a DD with you, like I do here, that can spot for you, that's even better. Because the key is to get up here to the Lion's Head and then turn the sonar on. And if you're lucky, you can catch some destroyers in a very bad position. Because all you have to do is come around this Lion's Head here and just open fire. And many games I've taken out at least 1 or 2 destroyers doing that, and it works really well. So here now I turn the sonar on, and I'm kind of hoping for destroyers, but in this case here there's none, which is sometimes what happens. So that brings me to the next part here about this spawn, and that is that in case the Lion's Head is a dot, like in this case here, that means the enemies that spawn here on this flank, they usually go all the way to the flank, like this Iowa here is doing at the moment. And it doesn't really matter if someone is rushing into the Lion's Head here, and there's usually destroyers or cruisers or battleships going the long way, like the Iowa here. It doesn't matter, because you can get in like very close to both of them very easily at this spawn here. So for example here, I'm just going to get in a few shots at the Siegfried here, and I'm going to intercept the Iowa and the New Orleans over here on the other side, on the right flank, that would be. And this is why I love this spawn here, because you have 2 options of getting into very close contact with the enemy, and if it doesn't work out one way, it will almost certainly work out the other way. And in this case here, it's going to the battle is going to be on the flank here. So I realize these guys here are actually trying to flank us, and that means, of course, I will put a stop to that. And see, already now they're within 6 kilometers, which is the death zone for Hipper, and that's just perfect. And notice how the Iowa doesn't even have its turrets turned this way here. And even if it did, I would take 1 salvo, and that's easily survivable in Hipper. But as it is, he's got his turrets pointing forward, anticipating enemies up there, which is perfect for me. So I just rush in here, shoot all my torps, and then I get into a position to fire my other bank of torps here. And it works out really well, and this is like a standard play in Hipper on this map here. So this works because Fault Line here is a very compact map, and it has lots of opportunities for cruisers like Hipper or Prince Eugen here to surprise enemies this way here. And of course this move works with other cruisers as well, particularly Otago, but that's about it. Now I always say Hipper and Prince Eugen, they are all about burst damage, and I just get my kill taken there, but fine, that's alright. Had that not been the case, we would have been probably 4 minutes into this battle here, and I would have almost 150,000 damage already. As it is, we have to settle for about 100,000, but that's still very good. And like I said, burst damage is what Hipper does. Now at this point here, I still have plenty of health left, and like if this was a Cleveland or an Otago or something like that, you would probably continue on this trajectory here and just burn these guys down with HE. But like I've said a few times here, that's not really going to cut it in Hipper. So I am just waiting for the perfect time to turn around and pretty much rush up and get these guys here, because they are all like gathered here trying to save the guys from before, I guess. And obviously that's not gonna work. And enjoy this Atlanta here that's been hiding the whole match and decides to come out now where, yeah, pretty much the outcome is a given. And he doesn't really do much. He comes out, he's broadside on, and he shoots a few of those like P shots from the Atlanta guns. And if he just waited a little bit for me to be able to turn around, so he had a little bit of backup, then it would probably be a better outcome for him. So yeah, just a bit of an observation there. And just got the high caliber there, and we still only have one kill, but that's not for a lack of trying. So the Atlanta is gonna buy it now, and I got a whiff of a carrier down here behind the Siegfried. So obviously I'm not gonna give up on that, so I'm gonna head down that direction and see what mischief I can get up to that way. So we are ahead on ships now, and obviously this flank here is totally gone, and there's really not much left to do other than mop up the remaining forces. Now, I still don't think the carriers are much of a threat, at least to agile cruisers. I think I've had one battle in the last, well, month or whatever the carriers has been around, where I've actually been taken out by a carrier, and that was because I was caught between like a rock and a hard place, and I only had like 2,000 health left or something like that. So a single torp finished me off. But other than that situation, out of like, I guess I've played at least 150 battles this month, I find them pretty non-existing. I mean, I never really noticed they're around until the end like this, where I get to get some easy damage. So I'm sure like destroyer captains has a problem with them, but cruisers and agile cruisers in particular, I still don't see much threat in carriers. And part of that is because my builds are like, you're not relying on concealment, you are relying on agility. So if you're spotted or not, it doesn't matter really at all. So the effectiveness of carriers on agile cruisers is like small to non-existent. Even great carrier players, I've been in battles with some great ones, and yeah, an agile cruiser is not something a good carrier player is going to waste their time on, simply because it's impossible to hit if you are actively evading. So I usually just ignore carriers. Well, not even ignore, I completely forget they're there. And so in my opinion, they could be made a little bit more dangerous, actually. So they don't just do spotting. I guess it's a matter of fine-tuning it, because they already got a damage boost, and maybe that's enough. So anyway, that was another Hipper battle here for what I would call Hipper Week, and I hope you liked it, and I'll see you out there.